What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing awesome. Hey, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking a little bit today about our seven-figure agency roadmap live event, which is 2 weeks away. But I also want to talk about the fact that we're halfway through 2024. And now's an amazing time to kind of pause for a little bit, reflect. How's the first half of the year going for you? We're already halfway through this portion of the year, which is just amazing and could be good, could be bad, depending upon where you're at in your agency. And so two things I want to cover on this quick video. Number one, I want to remind you that if you've got a digital marketing agency and you're looking to grow, you're looking to scale, you have the opportunity to join me live in Miami, July 15th through 17th. And we're going to go deep on the seven-figure agency model. And I will show you how you can add an additional $1 million to your agency over the next 12 to 24 months or cross that seven-figure threshold for the first time. So I want to talk about this concept here that it's halftime, right? It's July 1st as I'm recording this video. I know at the beginning of the year, towards January, we're all excited, New Year's resolutions, big goals and aspirations. And statistics tell us that somewhere around the first 21 days of a new year, the momentum starts to trail off. And so it's really important, like don't give up on setting goals and building action plans and getting yourself excited and inspired. Just make sure that you check in a little bit more often, that you've got a process to keep yourself moving forward and taking action and accomplishing those goals and objectives that you've set for yourself. So what I'd love to know, if you're watching this with me live or on the replay, let me know in the comments, how was the first half of the year for you? And kind of rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being it was bad, 10 being it was fantastic. Somewhere on that spectrum, right? And sometimes we knock it out of the park and we're excited and there's momentum. Sometimes we set big goals, but we fail to accomplish them. Sometimes it's because we didn't take enough action. Sometimes it's because we took all the action, but we just didn't have the right plan, or we set too large of a goal. And what I want to tell you is it's okay to set a big goal and not hit it. It's okay to take massive action and be a little bit off track. What's not okay is to set a goal and then forget about it. Set a goal and just move on. And so I like to do these videos at the beginning of each month, at the beginning of each quarter, just to remind you, reset, refocus, build an updated plan, keep yourself moving and keep yourself in momentum. So let me know in the comments, how was Q2 for you? If you look at it, did you set a goal, you set a target, did you hit your sales and revenue growth? Did you get to where you were looking to get to? Let me know that in the comments. And I really think it's important that you do this on a consistent basis, that at the beginning of a quarter, especially at the beginning of a new year, especially, you review, right? Yeah, you have to look back, because if you don't set goals and you don't build a plan and you don't look back on them, then it's just a waste of time, right? You're just creating activity without any accountability. So it's important to look back and say, hey, at the beginning of the year, I set a goal to be by July at a certain level, with a certain number of clients, with a certain amount of recurring revenue. And are you on track or are you not on track? If you are on track, then it's probably like, let's throw some golden bricks. Let's figure out what we're right. If we're off track though, then it's probably need to look back on the plan. Like, did we have the wrong plan? Did we take the necessary action? Did we do the work that was going to get us to the outcome that we're after? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this live or after the fact. On track if you feel like you're on track for the quarter. You're on track for your goals and targets. Off track if you're not there, if you're not where you wanted to be. And so I really think this time of year, halftime especially, it's great to review, but we also need to celebrate, right? Regardless of how well you achieved or how poor you achieved, there's always something to celebrate. There's always something good that's happened, something that you built, some relationship that you developed, something that you got off the ground, something that you created some momentum around, and you need to take a minute to celebrate that, because you're going to get more of what you take time to celebrate. And there's this concept called the gap and the gain. And there's a book actually about this concept as well called The Gap and the Gain. But the nutshell of the gap and the gain is we set a goal. And we press hard as entrepreneurs, as agency owners, to try and accomplish that goal. And when we're looking forward, maybe we hit it, maybe we didn't, but there's always a gap between where we want to go and where we are right now. And if all we're doing is looking forward and we're looking at the gap, it's easy to get frustrated. It's easy to get down on ourselves. It's easy to be like, oh man, like this isn't working. I'm not getting what I tried to accomplish. But if we take a minute to look back and reflect and say, look, where was I at the beginning of the year? Where was I a year ago? Where was I 5 years ago? There's been massive gain, right? Ideally, there's been gain in your revenue and your profitability and the money you have in the bank account, in the things that you've accomplished. And it's important that you celebrate that gain, regardless of if it's where you ultimately wanted to be or where you want to be at this particular point in time. So take a couple minutes and kind of like figure out some things that you can recognize progress for, some things that you can celebrate. If you've got a team, go back and tell that team, hey, here's what we accomplished. Here's like something I'm proud of you for. And celebrate, because that's going to improve morale. It's going to build the culture. It's also going to make you more likely to remain in a state of resourcefulness, to remain in a state where you continue to take massive action. And even if it was bad, you can turn things around because you're focused on where you go, where you want to go versus potentially where you are. So we want to review, we want to celebrate, and then we also want to hit the reset button, right? Regardless of if you crushed it or if you're behind, you want to reset the targets. Let's look towards the end of this year now. We're in the second half, July, August, September, October, November, December. Where are we going to be by the end of Q3? Where are we going to be by the end of the year? Set a clear goal. Like if you do not have a clear goal for yourself for July, for Q3, for the rest of the year, you're just going to wind up chasing your tail. Maybe taking action, maybe watching random videos like this, maybe going to events and things. But if you don't consciously decide, like here's where I'm going to go, here's how many clients, here's how much recurring revenue, here's the target that I'm shooting for, you're going to wind up in a state of activity, right? And there's a great quote by Brian Tracy where he says, success is goals, all else is commentary. And so to the extent that you don't have a super clear goal out in front of you that's like, this is where I'm headed, this is where I'm going to be, you're just going to be stuck in activity. So let's spend some time to reset the goal for July, for Q3, for the rest of 2024, and then get super focused on it. Like get that goal out in front of you. Put it on a sales and retention tracking sheet. Put it up on a board in front of you. Create an action plan that you're going to take massive action on to bring that into reality. So this is what I want you to do this time of the year. A couple things we should be doing every single month and especially every single quarter. Update the sales retention tracking sheet. If you don't have that, you don't know what that is. Basically, it's just a sheet that you can use to plot every single month. How many clients are we going to lose? How many clients do we expect to churn? And based on those goals and targets, easily track whether you're on track or off track. If you don't have that, type tracking in the comments wherever you are, and I'll get you a link to that sales retention tracking sheet and some additional insights on how to use it. I personally use it every single month. Most of our most successful members in Seven Figure Agency use this sheet religiously because, again, you can't improve what you don't measure, right? And if you don't have a clear goal and a clear target that you and the entire team are pushing towards, you're going to be stuck in activity. So this is number one, is we want to update our sales retention tracking sheet and recast it for the remainder of this year. Also, look back. If you've built your sales retention tracking sheet, which I know a lot of you have, look back on June, on the previous months, and just gut check, are we on track or off track on our tracking sheet, on our goals? Did we lose more clients than we were expecting? Did we not land as many clients as we were expecting? Share that feedback with the team, right? If you have a team, whether that's a full team of in-office people or virtual assistants or people scattered throughout the country, be sure the team knows where the organization is going, where the organization has gone, what the positive is, and also kind of some of the stuck points and some of the things that you're working to focus on to improve the company going forward. Usually, if we haven't hit our goals in terms of new client growth, typically it's because we don't have enough strategy sessions, right? We didn't get enough at-bats with prospects within our niche to talk them through our consultative sales process. And so, first of all, let's make sure we're tracking that as well. How many strategy sessions we're getting every single month? How many strategy sessions did you conduct in June? Was it 5? Was it 15? Was it 30? What was your close ratio? Question is, did you get enough strategy sessions? Typically, if it's not at least 15, it's going to be too low, right? And we need to build a plan to say, hey, we got to get the marketing ramped up. We got to get our outbound efforts ramped up so that we're consistently getting those 15 strategy sessions or more. We're going to work the growth system. And so if you're unfamiliar with this, type growth system in the comments. I'll get you a link to a training that walks you through this growth system and kind of the things you want to be doing daily, the things you want to be doing monthly, the things you want to be doing quarterly to keep your pipeline full, to make sure you get those strategy sessions every single month. Webinar for the month, podcast, industry associations and events. Make sure you've got this plotted on the calendar for yourself for the quarter at a minimum so that you're doing the necessary activities to build your authority, to build your positioning, and to expect to get those 15 strategy sessions per month or more so that you can expect to land the clients that you've got plotted out for yourself on your sales retention tracking sheet. And then, of course, make sure you review your P&L. Revenue's vanity, profit is sanity. If you're not looking at the financials on a monthly, on a quarterly, on a annualized basis, you're going to be in pain, right? What you track, what you measure always improves. And who cares if you did $1 million or $5 million or $10 million in revenue if you don't have a healthy profit? And the only way you're going to wind up with a healthy profit at the end of the day is if you're looking at your financials and you're making strategic decisions where you're overspending, where you're underspending to make sure those profit numbers are in line. So hopefully that helps as you kind of look back on the previous quarter, as you look back year to date, and hopefully you're going to map out a new goal, a new plan, a new objective for yourself going into 2024 so that you can either keep the momentum going or just force reset. Hey, let's hit the reboot button and get ourselves excited, get ourselves moving in the right direction, get ourselves taking the action that's necessary. I do have an event coming up July 15th and 16th, and we're going to give you the entire plan, the entire model in order to get your agency out of whatever stage it's in right now and to the next level. It's in Miami, Florida at the JW Marquee. The dates are going to be July 15th through 17th. July 15th is the Roadmap Live Day. I'm inviting you to come participate in that completely free. And then we're going to our member intensive where the rest of our member community comes together. And you'll be invited to participate in that for those 2 days to plug into the energy of a world-class community of successful digital marketing agencies, get some great insights on landing clients, delivering results, retaining at a higher level, and scale. So if you haven't registered yet or you're interested in participating, you can get all the details at sevenfigureagency.com/roadmap-live, sevenfigureagency.com/roadmap-live. So that's it for now. If you've got follow-up questions, if you need additional resources, let me know in the comments. For some of you, I'm excited to see you in July.